Coming up in today's Today in History, it's a tale of two towers in two countries and of course in two different cities, and the telltale sign that made one of them world famous. Keep watching and all will be revealed in a few minutes. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sotonie Fiesimano. If you're a subscriber, thanks for dropping by once again. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. It's helping me grow. Thank you so much. Thank you to all 59 of you subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, thanks for dropping by once again. Why not become my 60th subscriber so that you receive updates of my video uploads? If you're here for the first time, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy the content that I'm going to share with you today. The idea behind this channel is to share historical events that have occurred on this day, hence the title Today in History, with a view to us learning from history, because there's a saying that history tends to repeat itself. So hopefully we will educate ourselves, entertain ourselves, and learn to avert the negative events that have occurred through history by recognizing certain patterns as they occur in future. So let's get cracking. Let's get started with today's important event in history. So the 15th of December is the day, and the year is 37 or 37 CE. 37 years into our common era. On this day, this infamous man, Emperor Nero, was born. Why did he become infamous? He became infamous for his personal debaucheries and extravagances, and on doubtful evidence for his burning of Rome and persecutions of Christians. So this is what Emperor Nero would have looked like. This is obviously not his real face, but this is an approximation what he would have looked like. So he was born on this day, the year 37 CE. I think this is some sort of cast. So some artist has recreated his face. Okay, let's move on now to the year 1832. Yes, this is one of the clues that I gave earlier, and his name is Gustave Eiffel. That's the man behind the Eiffel Tower, French engineer, born on this day in 1832. So this is one of the towers. My riddle again was it's a tale of two towers in two countries. So this is one of the towers, the Eiffel Tower, and the engineer Gustave Eiffel was born on this day in 1832, and that's a cartoon as well. Interesting one. Okay, so you can see one of the pyramids of Egypt. I guess that's where he got his inspiration from to build and to design the Eiffel Tower. On December 15th, 1883, William A. Hinton, the developer of the Hinton Test, which detects syphilis, was born. So 1883, December 15th, William Hinton, pictured here, developer of the Hinton Test, which detects syphilis, was born. He was also the first African American to publish an academic textbook. Let's move on now to the year 1890. On this day, sadly, Sitting Bull was killed. Sitting Bull was a Teton Dakota Indian chief, and he was killed by US troops near the Grand River in South Dakota. Obviously, he was resisting colonization by the Europeans who had come to his land to take over, and he didn't like it, understandably, but sadly, he was overpowered and killed on this day in 1890. So the famous Sitting Bull, Teton Dakota Indian chief, killed on this day near the Grand River in South Dakota. On this day in 1892, John Paul Getty, American oil billionaire, was born. was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's a painting of the young American oil billionaire John Paul Getty. And one more picture, much older, right here. It's towards the end of his life. 1907, Oscar Neymar, featured in one of my videos not too long ago, 10 days, maybe a week ago. That's Oscar Neymar, born on this day, 1907. He was a Brazilian architect, an early exponent of modern architecture in Latin America, and a co-winner of the 1988 Pritzker Prize. So the Pritzker Prize is a prize that's given to architects. So I'll show you some more pictures of Oscar Neymar and his buildings. That's him in class teaching. And these are two buildings here, two in one if you like, in the capital, Brasilia. And doodling, doing some drawings. See where he gets his inspiration from, nature, curves, and so on. Can even see a female figure there. Okay. Last but not least, again, Oscar Neymar, towards the end of his life. And we shall end with this picture of him in a pensive mood. Okay. 1939, on this day, she has turned 81 today. Happy birthday. Cindy Birdsong, one of the Supremes, former member of the group Supremes. Birdsong was born in Mount Holly Township, New Jersey, on this day, 1939. So she is 81 years old today. So happy birthday, Cindy Birdsong. Originally a member of Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, Birdsong is noted for being a member of Diana Ross and the Supremes when she replaced her predecessor, Flo Ballard. She was a member of the group from 1967 until 1972, then again from 1973 until 1976, leaving permanently. After leaving the Supremes, Birdsong worked as a nurse at the UCLA Medical Center under her married name of Cindy Hewlett. Interesting that someone left a singing career to work as a nurse. That is interesting. So potentially a drop in salary, I guess, because clearly singing, especially with a group, the Supremes, would have netted her a lot more money than being a nurse. Anyway, she must have had very good reasons to leave the Supremes a second and final time. So happy birthday to Cindy Birdsong, 81 today. Also on this day, film director Reginald Hudlin, pictured right here, was born. Most well known for the films House Party with Kid and Play and Boomerang with Eddie Murphy, was born in Centerville, Illinois. In 2005, July of 2005, Hudlin was hired as president of entertainment for Black Entertainment Television, so BET. He is currently writing the Marvel comic series Black Panther, hence the picture right here. Okay, so again, happy birthday, Reginald Hudlin. He is 59 years old today. He is currently writing the Marvel Comics series Black Panther, 1997, and it's Janet Jagan, the beautiful Janet Jagan. Janet Rosenberg Jagan, her full name, was elected on this day President of Guyana, becoming the first elected female president in South America and the first white president of Guyana. So that is Janet Rosenberg Jagan, much younger Jagan, and this is her in her latter years, pictured right here, still beautiful, first elected white president of Guyana and first female president in South America, elected on this day in 1997. Also on this day, 1997, year 1997. Not pictured here. But wait for this. Yeah, this is the second clue, so just hold on. Hold on for today's. So we'll come back to that picture. That's the second clue, by the way. So this, on this day, 1997, this is the Bacillus anthracis, a bacterium that causes anthrax. So this was the day that the U.S. Department of Defense ordered that all 1.4 million Americans in its service be inoculated against anthrax, which is and was a potential weapon of biological warfare. So, that brings me back to what I said about the coronavirus a few days ago. History repeating itself again. Potentially, people think that it has been used as biological warfare already. It was manufactured in a lab, which is very, very likely, more likely than not likely, because throughout history, most of the issues that have popped their ugly heads have been man-made. So chances that this virus was man-made, wherever it came from, I don't want to call any countries or call anyone out, but statistically, it's more likely than not likely that it was man-made. So let us learn from history, protect ourselves, protect our families, and hopefully this too shall pass, the COVID-19 virus. It will be relegated to the annals of history as quickly as possible so that we can all move on with our lives. Okay, so back to that picture, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. For those of you who recognize it, yes, this is the other tower. This was the day in 2001. The Leaning Tower of Pisa reopened in Pisa, Italy, after more than 10 years of work to stabilize the structure. So I'm going to go back to the riddle. And it's a tale of two towers in two countries and a telltale sign that made one of them world famous. So that telltale sign is the leaning. The fact that it was leaning propelled it to the history books, if you like. People became aware and it became famous because, when a building is leaning, you just assume that it's a matter of time before it collapses. So this was the day in 2001 that the Leaning Tower of Pisa was reopened. Obviously, it was stabilized. It wasn't, the leaning wasn't corrected. It wasn't made straight, because that's what's this leaning that has made it famous. The telltale sign that made one of them world famous. So this is the other tower. The Eiffel Tower is one of them. And this is the other, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay, so again on this day, the work to stabilize it was completed after 10 years. Last but not least, this is an interesting story, one that we should think about seriously, about human beings and their craftiness and motives and all that, the sort of things we do to please other people. Now listen to the story. So the year is 2003, and this lady is Ms. S.C. May Washington Williams. Who was she? She was Storm Thurmond's daughter. Who was Storm Thurmond? The guy who is pictured at the bottom of this book cover. And obviously that's his daughter. And if you notice, the daughter looks mixed race. She is mixed race, and that's obviously her father, a white guy. Why is this story interesting? This was the day that it was revealed that she was indeed the illegitimate biracial daughter of the former senator of South Carolina. Ordinarily, okay, that isn't newsworthy. They're mixed race people, whites marrying blacks and having children. What made this story interesting was Thurmond gained fame and infamy as an arch segregationist. That was the irony in the story. Now, his daughter was an American teacher, author, and writer. She's best known as the eldest child of Strom Thurmond. Eldest child. So it isn't like towards the end of his life he changed his mind about segregation and then had an affair with this black woman and then had a biracial child. This was his first child. And this man was known as an arch segregationist. He was governor of South Carolina from 1947 to 1951 and longtime United States Senator, known for his pro-racial segregation policies rather. So, Washington Williams did not reveal her biological father's identity until she was 78 years old, after her father's death at the age of 100 in 2003. Wow, so he was basically 22 years older than his daughter. So he had her while he was very young. So he had little to do with her upbringing. He had paid for her college education and took an interest in her and her family all his life. In 2005, she published this book, which is pictured here. The title, again, as you can see, is Dear Senator, a memoir by the daughter of Strom Thurmond. And this book was nominated for the National Book Award and a Pulitzer Prize. Sadly, we lost Ms. Essie Mae Washington Williams on this, and in 2003 on the 4th of February. Sorry, she died in 2013, 10 years after her dad. So the 4th of February 2013 was when we lost Essie Mae Washington Williams. So this is something to think about, people who take a stance that they don't really believe in. If you've had an affair with an African American woman, then you sort of pretend to, you don't want these people to mix with your race, but you're mixing with them. You're not just mixing with them. You're having sex, basically. How intimate could a man be with a woman? Having sex, and you're saying, these people shouldn't hang around with each other. Was he trying to please his master, in quotes, his brothers and sisters, his white brothers and sisters? Obviously, yes. Many of us are like that. We want to please. We're scared of offending people. If we do this, people are going to be offended. If you're doing the right thing, just go ahead and do it. I think most of us are guilty of this, people pleasing. You just focus on what you know is the right thing to do and do it. Because whatever you do, people will be people. People are going to like you or dislike you. It doesn't matter what you do. Whatever stand you take in life, you're always going to have naysayers. So keep that in mind, guys. I hope we've learned a thing or two from today's Today in History, especially from this last story that I shared. Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for dropping by once again. I shall see you tomorrow for another edition of Today in History. So tomorrow would be the 16th of December. If you haven't liked or shared or subscribed, please do that. That would really help my channel grow. I appreciate you. Stay safe. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.